Welcome back to another episode of Aunt and Andrew, where family's everything.
Until it's not. I'm Aunt.
And I'm Andrew.
Hi, Andrew.
Hi. We had fun at the beach.
We had
went to
fun at the beach
piece.
this weekend. We did.
We'll share some photos with you on our social channels. We took
Oh,
a couple
yeah,
good,
that's
we
good.
took a couple good pics together. We did a little hype video from the Tides Beach Club. Really
yeah,
knocked
did,
my
but I
sister's
had
socks
beach
off.
hair and everything.
My sister was taking the video and she was like, she's never watched us, which again,
No,
she couldn't have told us any differently that she's never watched our podcast. But at the same time, she was like, oh my God, you guys just came up with that.
That was like a promo, she said.
I know. And the other family members there were like, that's how they start every episode. So that made me feel good that they listen along.
Well, no, and not only that, they were like, oh, don't you watch it? Oh, I watch it every week. I know. It was funny.
Love the comments. We loved the commentary.
Love the comments, even if they're live. So we're talking about New York, number 2.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to say they had to start with the dill again. I want to go get some dill.
Yeah, the dill thing's weird for me. Just
because it is.
I
think she's like repulsed by the dill. What has dill in it? Like, pickles? What's a food you can't, well, besides dill pickles? I'm going to Google that right now. What's a food that has a lot of dill in it?
Oh, because you're wondering, like, do you like dill? You're like,
yeah, I don't know. Foods with dill. I mean, I think this is something that our viewers will find fascinating.
Yeah, because it's an herb. Like really, like what, like, is there ever too much dill in something?
Creamy dressings.
Okay.
So I don't think it's a pickled vegetables, like we said, which would be a pickle is a vegetable, right? Because it's a little cucumber. Light salads and egg dishes. Maybe she doesn't like the eggs. What can I do with a bunch of dill? You can just put it on in butter and put it on salmon and broil some zucchini, put it in yogurt. So it's definitely an herb.
It's definitely not common in 90% of the things that most human beings eat. So why is it being discussed?
Oh, she needs a storyline.
Who though?
Jenna.
Really?
I didn't need to know that she has molted skin.
She also hasn't said one thing about dill. Erin has said it all.
No, I know, but when they arrived at the house and the caviar was there, I do know for a fact that caviar on potato chips, good potato chips, is amazing. And
I felt like, why are we?
And Pat from Southern Charm, she's always having her caviar on really good potato chips. So it didn't surprise me that they liked Pringles.
Also, do we care what the caviar is on? Isn't the gimmick the caviar?
No, it's like horseradish. It's what's with it.
Oh,
in my opinion, nobody. Well, some people do. Who was the one that did the what was her name? Emma Thompson? No, that's an actress, right? Who was the one that was friends with Carol Ratzenegger?
Radzawell?
Yeah, her, right?
You called her Ratzenegger.
On the Housewives, I like Schwarzenegger. You know what? I just saw, maybe that's what I had in my head. I just saw Catherine Schwarzenegger.
Oh, yes.
Like doing like nude, almost bathroom, bathing, under bra and panty selfies in the bathroom. And I thought to myself, there is proof that women, no matter how educated and how much money and how sophisticated they're supposed to be, still have to resort to taking a selfie half naked in the bathroom. It's so distasteful in my eyes.
I mean, don't you do that often?
No, never. Just the opposite. I try not even to look at myself in the mirror.
I would never look at myself naked.
Yeah, I know. And take a picture. Ooh, no. Exactly. And I just thought, gosh, she's, Maria Shriver's daughter. She's Arnold's daughter. She's educated. She went to USC. She's married to that Pratt guy. I mean, she should have more self-confidence, because I see that as a cry for attention. But that's just my PSA for the day. Women, stop taking selfies of yourself half naked. It makes you look desperate. Okay. Yeah. That's just me.
So, okay. So first and foremost, what do you think of Erin's house?
I thought her house was beautiful.
Yeah. And I thought it was
it's
nice
a
that she was
very
vulnerable.
nice house.
about-
But what's so annoying is, how many square feet is this? Like, are they all wrapped up in square feet? They're so shallow and unaware. They have no self awareness. This group,
But wait.
they
I have to ask you the
no
question though.
self.
But I have to ask you a question.
Maybe Jenna doesn't. Maybe Erin does. But the other three that were there,
Uba's in a league of her own.
Well,
Uba is hysterical.
yeah, but you know what? Where is
Provisions is closed.
New York was always somewhat elevated, kind of like Beverly Hills, that you expect a different level of class than like
Wait,
OC
I have to
or
ask
Jersey.
you. I have to ask you.
I mean,
first,
the OC
why
has,
do you think they're not classy? Like, I just want to bring up a couple moments. Just
why
first and
do
tell
I
you.
think they're
Wait a
not
second.
classy?
Let me set
Where
the
do
stage
I
for this question.
begin?
Let me set the stage for this question. Season 1 or 2, I think it might have been 2. We had we had Bethany Frankel and Kelly Ben Simone sitting at the Brass Monkey
Sure.
with Kelly Ben Simone going, "I'm up here and you're
down
here."
there.
Okay,
Sure.
wait.
We know that.
Now, we also have Ramona shitting on the floor, Sonia losing her teeth. Like, when you're telling me that, like, why, like,
Yeah,
I
but
don't
those were
see
things
class.
that happened.
Really?
Those were just things that happened because they were taking Adderall and drinking alcohol. They had see. Here's the thing, you know,
Ramona wore ivory to a wedding in season 1.
Talk
about class.
Okay, but that's not class. They're unaware. There's a difference.
Well,
I've
money
told you
can't
that
buy you
even
class.
with Sonia and Luann, they're unaware. I mean of their of how they are. They have no self-awareness. And Jill brought a sense of class. Ramona has always brought when she wants to. Okay,
What
Alex
are you
didn't,
talking about?
and Bethany didn't, but I don't know what it is. Okay, I don't think it's classy to arrive at the house and say, "Where's the help?" That's degrading.
No, I don't like Psy at all.
I don't
You know what we
either.
call that? New money versus old money.
So, yeah, because old money never ever acts that way. Ever.
Did you see Erin on Watch What Happens Live with Candy?
No.
So,
Candy Burris.
First and foremost, the question that Andy asked Candy was like, "What advice do you give Erin?" And her only, like, what would be the first thing that you give? And the first thing that Candy said is that make sure everything you say is the truth, because they love those flashback moments of showing that, you know, you said something
lied.
different.
Yeah.
And also never compromise how you feel, even if everyone is saying that you're wrong. If you feel a certain way, stick to your guns, be true to yourself, and don't change your feelings because of what the fans or the other women are saying to you. And what bothered me, not what bothered me, but what I like about Erin is that Andy then went through one of his games was like hostess or nostess, meaning like it was basically just ideas of things that house guests would want when they get to your house. And do you accommodate them or do you not accommodate them? And one of the questions was asking the hired help to help. And it was all scenes from past housewives when they went on trips and stuff.
Yeah.
And so asking the help to help you unpack.
Well, Ramona does that all the time.
And Emma and Erin goes, I guess, sure, if they're there and they want to help you, like, fine. But Erin's whole thing is that, like, and I liked how she was like, when they were like, "Are you going to help us with our belongings?" And she's like, "No, like, I don't have my shoes on. Like, go get them yourself." Like, there's one thing when, like, you're bringing a bunch of things. If you're going to a party and say you were bringing all of the side dishes for my mom's birthday party, it might be one thing that people are like, "Oh, let's go help aunt with the food from the car." But when aunt's bringing 16 suitcases to spend 4 days, why is it the hostess' responsibility to come out and help you with your luggage?
Well, it's not. And I just don't like when they arrive with like, who's helping me? Like, where do they think they're going? They're not going to a hotel. They're going to someone's house.
I didn't like
and she had way too much stuff. I mean, come on.
How rude was it when Psy, and this could have been editing.
Worse, when she took the toilet paper, because she's elevated and her toilet paper is too. And it was just, it was so cringe worthy. I hope she's having some self-awareness when you watch this back.
I mean, New York is filled with bad apples, but she's the baddest of the bunch.
Oh,
that's her tagline.
Is it? Well, that makes sense, but no, even them wanting to go to Provisions and get a sandwich before they got there, it was so rude. Go to Provisions, but don't tell them you're going to Provisions. Just stop it and get something on the way.
How about you call her and say, Erin, I'm starving. Do you have any food? I'm going to eat whatever you have, but I just want to make sure, because I kind of need bread and some grease. I just need something heavy. And I assume that you're not waiting for a panini when I walk in.
And I'll bring 6 or 7 of them in case anybody else
so it'd be
wants
so
one.
I wanted to check to see no pressure at all. It's just more for me. But also when she says, I have caviar, I'll be I love caviar. I'll definitely have some of that, but I'm going to stop and get some other stuff just for myself. Or maybe it's something where if she says, if you have any food, you say that's great. Looking forward to it. And then go to Provisions, eat your sandwich in the car, tell her that you hit some traffic. And then at the reunion, it can be more of a joke. And then Uba could say, we didn't want to offend you. We thought the caviar was amazing, but we knew it wasn't going to be enough for us. So instead of just showing up and feeling like we weren't grateful, we decided to stop and get a Big Mac. Because they're in the moment
at the time and the cameras are on them and they think that they have to be more.
I do think the real problem.
They have to be more.
Well, that's why I like Erin, because if that was Ramona, it would have been a huge, huge thing. Now,
but Ramona wouldn't have just caviar. She wouldn't. Ramona always had a lot of fun. And I want to say the problem with these, what's so funny in the promos? They keep on saying, and we have so much fun. And I'm thinking, where's the fun? Is this fun, girls? Do you think we're having fun? This is pathetic. This isn't fun. They haven't had one laugh yet. Did you laugh any of that episode? No.
Multiple times.
At what?
I laughed when Uba called and said Provisions was closed. I thought it was hysterical.
That's funny. Yeah, that's funny.
When
but
Uba
that's
got
not
to the
funny.
table and pulled out a compass and said she had to sit in the north.
Well, good
that
for her.
Was funny.
True north. True north.
That was funny. I think when Jessel said that she looked like a Christmas.
True west?
No, it's true north.
But north.
No, true north is your true north, but of course
no,
it's
I understand
west.
that, but what?
Yes, Kim and Kanye's daughter, true. Yes,
it's true west. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But true.
That was why they
west.
called their daughter True.
No, I know that, but true north is different than true west.
Of course, she wasn't talking about west.
It would have been better if their last name was North. If it was Kanye North.
I mean, I don't know about that.
Because then the kid's name would have been True North instead of True West. Think about it. Just for a minute. I'll give you a moment.
There were moments.
You know what? It might not be as fun. I hate to say this. I understand you're recovering. That 2 of them don't drink.
Oh, I think it was great. I think it's great. I love how Uba goes I used to drink. I smoked pot once and woo, that's not for me.
Yeah.
That's real. Not every housewife in America drinks.
But that's part of the franchise.
Really?
Well, that's why they all end up. That's why they all end up. That's why they all
remember,
end up arrested.
Jill's Erin didn't have one drink throughout any of her time on Housewives.
She drinks Diet Coke.
So 2 out of the 5 don't drink. Do you think it really matters?
Well, there's usually 6. One didn't make it. What was her excuse again?
Lizzie. I don't know. All I know
Lizzie,
is
it's not Lizzie. It's
Brynn.
Brynn. Lizzie's the one that didn't make the show.
Well, that's what I meant.
Yeah. That's what her name was. Anyways, I would be very nervous going in with those crazy catty women also. Anybody who's nervous, like Jenna was saying, she's very, very nervous. I'd be nervous too, between the pressure on looking good, the clothes, and look at what's her name, Jessel. I'm going to take, it will be episode 10 before I get their names right. When she came downstairs and she had Alexander Wang and then she had Balenciaga, and Jenna.
I like what Jenna said.
And Jenna just laid her. You're going to wear 2 names of that kind of pressure, though. to like always look good around these people. It's a lot, especially when there's all of them at once. You don't know everybody's style yet. You don't know who they are. At least if you had an established cast, like say you kept, who was the crazy young one in New York last year? You know, the young one, the blonde.
Are you talking
hair.
about
She was
Leah,
in Ultimate
Leah?
Leah. If you had kept one or two of the younger housewives in New York and added new young housewives, I think it would have been better. I still don't think all 5, 6 new is good. You would have had an idea for their style. You would have had an idea how they entertain. This is why that girl from Brooklyn is bringing 15,000 bags. She doesn't know how these people dress, so she's got to bring extra.
I wish one of them, when she had said she was wearing a dress to dinner, goes, "Oh, so you're going to be a thug in a cocktail dress?"
I don't like her. I don't like she brought her toilet paper. I don't think she's so elevated. I don't like that.
New money.
New money is bad.
But you also do have to remember this. I don't like that you keep saying the cattiness, because Luann sat down with Alex McCord and said even Louis Vuitton makes mistakes. Okay, come on.
And that was catty too, but it was different.
It's cat. You think it's okay because it came from the Countess?
Well, the Countess was a Countess.
Really?
Yes.
And
oh yeah,
banging the. Yeah, exactly. Money can't buy you class. Class with the Countess is the book too, right? But yet she's bringing the pirate home, and she's.
I think I was one of the first ones who bought it.
They did ask Erin what she would think of if one of her house guests brought over a guy that she met and had a one-night stand. Would you be cool or would you be uncool? And Erin said, "Yeah, whatever.
No,
my kids aren't there."
I thought her house was beautiful.
She's like, if my kids aren't there and he's out before we all wake up, he's not bringing them to breakfast.
Yeah.
You know.
But again, they were catty. How about what's her name? Sai?
I'm not a big fan of Sai.
How about when she walked into Erin's room and said, "Oh, well, this room's not going to work for me. The closet's not big enough."
She laughed, though, after that was a joke. They both laughed together.
It didn't come off that way, though.
Erin didn't hold on to it.
Well, she did. Just because she didn't hold on to it doesn't mean it wasn't meant. There was a level of she meant what she said, or it wouldn't have come out. There's always a little truth, even somebody's kidding. That's what makes it a little bit.
All I can say is I'm nice, but if you make me mad, I'll date your dad.
Oh, well,
that's what Bryn's tagline is. I wonder if she goes on a date with Erin's dad.
She's all over him. I thought he's a little old for her, don't you think? He must have money.
I mean, I think that we have.
She seems like she wasn't in this episode, so we really can't talk about it. Let's move
on.
All
I'm going to ask you is this: is that when you started watching Orange County 20 years ago, did it all make sense at first? No.
Well, I knew they were crazy immediately,
but you had to let it play out before you understood the concept. Yeah,
but remember when I first started watching the OC, there was no playbook. They were original. The first season of the OC didn't know what they were doing. It was very organic and original. This is a little manufactured because there's been how many episodes of Housewives between Dubai and Melbourne, which is if you ever get a chance to watch the Real Housewives of Melbourne.
But Dubai was a hit.
It's so good. I know, but Melbourne's great. Good.
But what I'm saying, I think that Bethany hit the nail on the head when she was talking to Jill. Bethany was like,
they were great.
We came on and we were real. This was our life.
They were real. That's what I'm
saying.
saying.
I love how she just keeps saying you were sending Allie to fat camp on the private plane. Like that makes me laugh because Jill doesn't fight it. Jill's like, I kind of was, but not really. It was not fat camp. But at the same time, it was.
It was for her arthritis.
Yeah. But Jill can't deny it because it's just a funny joke that
you know what? Jill may not have sent her to a fat camp, but when she came home and had lost 12 or 13 pounds, Jill made sure she let everybody know that Allie lost 12 or 13 pounds. So you can't say it wasn't a fat camp when she lost weight, and Jill boasted that she lost weight when she went to it.
I think that the ones that we are starting to see emerge.
But Allie looks fantastic now.
Yes, she does. She looks great. I will say that and I just hope their stuff starts to sell at Saks and doesn't just go direct to Saks off Fifth. That's all I care about. I feel bad for them. It seems like everything is being moved to the discount store from the start. But I will say that like any of these shows, there's going to be people that you like, and there's going to be people that get it and that are real. And I do think that the only one that's really out there for me, but I think it's because she was the original OG fancy pants pretentious. The only one that's really survived is Heather Dubrow. Anyone else that comes in with this more like better than you, this air about them, they usually don't make it because it's not sustainable.
But who else has a husband with the TV show?
No. I agree with you.
I mean, there's things that help Heather. If Heather didn't
but if
have
it was just her
a
personality, she would
plastic
have been
surgeon
gone.
husband, if he was the head of supply chain at Home Depot, she would have been gone.
Oh, totally. If Shane was her husband, she'd be gone.
Right. But it's because her husband's Terry Dubrow.
And she has a level of wealth that allows for her to be so pretentious. I will say that like the stuff with Sai that makes me laugh is that like, I'm sure she makes more money year to year than the other women. The difference that they're not seeing is that I believe a number of these women have family money and generational wealth that Sai doesn't have. I'm not saying that for any rhyme or reason.
Who do you think in this cast has generational money?
Erin.
Okay.
She talked about it. I think Uba does from family. And
okay.
I mean, there's just, unless you're a supermodel, like, are making a lot of money modeling, you need to have something. Brynn is like a content creator. Like Brynn, I think, has family money.
Okay. I don't know. I've only seen her,
enough to like put her on a show like this. I think Jessel has, her husband does well, I'm sure. And I think that she probably has done decent and fine. And she has,
but I don't think Jenna comes from, extraordinary.
But Jenna ran J. Crew for like years. I'm sure she was making
that.
$500,000
you know what
a
year. Though I didn't like also how they kept on going. I've never been down here at the Hamptons in the winter.
That's because you don't own a
That's why they haven't been there. If they owned a house, who owns a house? Jenna showed she has a house there. Yep. It's a little shack. She showed it. It was a small place, she said. And then we have Erin, but nobody else has a house down there.
No.
Which kind of shows their wealth.
But I will tell you, Jill Zenner
I'd like to know if they have
years.
I know she did.
And the only ones that owned them there were Luann, and even Ramona rented her house for a bit. And then like once she rebought it and now is too. But like, I mean, the others never did. Remember the rental that Alex and Simon had in season 1?
Oh my God, that was so bad. It was
the small TV. Bad. They wouldn't let the boys watch TV. I remember vividly.
Oh, it was so bad.
Francois.
Oh gosh, I'll be happy to see Alex when they do Ultimate Girls Trip. She's on the next season.
Is she on it?
Yeah, Alex McCord is on the next season of Ultimate Girls Trip.
I think that she has no beef with anyone.
Which is the one that Carolyn Manzo and Brandy are on? Is that one?
I don't know if that's happening.
What do you mean? They made such a big deal out of it. It should be on by now. That happened 6-8 months ago. Maybe they're not filming it. Maybe it was too bad. Maybe once again, Andy is protecting Brandy Granville because he does protect her. My belief.
Glanville. I love listening to you pronounce.
I know. Anyways, I thought they were very catty and shady. There's a lot of shady remarks. And
okay, but my question is, why are you looking at this with such a moral compass lens when you don't do that with any other show?
They just have this air about them that doesn't equate with their status in life. They're coming in like they've won the Miss Universe title and they're just competing in Miss Orange County. That's why. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I just feel like you're I don't know. I just don't. I feel like you're imagine this is all I
just think they're a very ungrateful group of women.
Imagine all of the women in New York City. And you're picking 6.
I wouldn't pick
on
them.
And it's okay. I'm not saying
like I said, I don't mind Erin, and Jenna's growing on me.
I'm asking you, even in your small city.
And I like Jenna because I feel like she's very okay. I'm not going to do or say anything. Like she's probably one of the only ones who have some self-awareness. Go ahead. So in my city.
Yeah, exactly. I'll go back to my point. in your city, and it's what, 1,000 times smaller than New York City, 1,000,000 times smaller than New
Million
York
times,
City,
right? Okay.
you'd
And
still think that you were queen of the fucking universe if you were one of 6 housewives named in the city.
yeah, yeah.
So imagine being one of
Right. I
6
get
in
it.
New
I
York
see it when
City.
you say it that way. Yeah, sure. One of 6 million.
Of course you think you're the coolest shit on planet Earth,
Yeah.
because the most popular reality show in the past 20 years picked you.
It's a good point.
Now, I don't know if like in Salt Lake City, if you started watching that from the beginning, which you're going to need to,
I guess.
because, you know, we won't go retroactive, but you're going to have to watch season 3. They don't have that same demeanor, but they're from Salt Lake City.
Right. But this is New York.
They've always felt that they're the queens of Salt Lake City. This is the first time that these women are being validated, other than Jenna, as the queens of New York City. This is their first moment in that light. Shannon Bedore's always been hot shit in Orange County. Even when OC started, she still was one of the coolest people in Orange County, one of the richest, one of the most affluent and funny. She was known around town. It's a smaller community.
I want to just say this. This is what I wrote at my notes. The worst housewives they've ever had across the cities are not as bad as these girls collectively. They're going to have to listen. I'm open to change. I hope they can change. I hope they can change, but bringing your own toilet paper, taking cream de cocoa or whatever it is from the kitchen, complaining this room, where's the help? I hate when people say, where's the help? It's very demeaning. And bringing all that luggage, expecting other people to take care of it.
It's also all predictable housewife trip fights, like things that are just like stupid.
Yeah,
and I
like
have to say,
something new.
Bring something new. I think at this moment in time, both Sai and Jessel, I would cut for next season.
Right now, totally.
I would keep Uba because she's got some funny one-liners, and I think her accent is also like makes her more appealing.
That makes her in New York too, because when you go to New York, there's all kinds of accents.
Yeah, and I think that she's like, I believe she has class. I believe that she is like funny and quirky, but I do believe that she's someone that is always showing up looking beautiful and always on time and understands right and wrong, all those good things. I think that with Jenna, you have someone that is that sticks. I think with Erin, you have someone that sticks. And I think that Brynn, you know, she's either going to be a Brandy Glanville or an Erica Jane. I don't know yet which one she's going to be.
Yeah, she could be a cross of them both.
Maybe. But like right now, I feel like, do you have the confidence of an Erica Jane? Or do you have like the nasty attitude of a Brandy Glanville? Like, and it could go in either direction.
I think she could go both. Maybe she could be both. Yeah.
But I do believe, and I also say like, yes, showing New York in a diverse way is super important. New York's a diverse city. But at the same time, what I think Bravo needs to take a look at is the Housewives a diverse brand? Because it doesn't matter if the city is diverse, but if the brand of Housewives is not diverse, because think about it, even the white person on Atlanta didn't stay on Atlanta.
No, I know.
So it's not as much of saying black, white, Indian. It doesn't matter. What I'm trying to say is that when you have people from different cultures, it's important to show how they interact. But are they all interacting? Maybe going out, they're going out to dinner, but are they like, this show goes deeper than just going out. You have families,
of course it does. Yeah,
your core values and principles and the things you care about come out. So it's like, it's difficult to say this is a group of friends on a show about their lifestyle, but then try to say like, okay, we're going to put all these people in the same bucket and say, try to see how you get along, try to see how you interact. But truly, like, would they choose to do certain activities that they're going to show on this show together, even if they were friends? I don't think so.
I don't know. I'm just going to say that looking back at my notes, I have no one has ever any awareness. Still don't like them. So nasty, their comments. Horrible guests. Still don't like them. I said it multiple times. Can't stand the influencer. Most ungrateful group of women, and worst housewives are not as bad as these girls are. That's all I'm going to say. Those are my initial impressions. I've been watching these series and reality since it started. One day we're going to have to talk about my 3 favorite reality shows ever. And I've been watching them for a real long time. And I'm waiting for them to blow me over, but the first 2 they haven't.
I just think that you need to, the one thing I would challenge you to do for next week is, as you sit there and you say they're catty or they're like not nice, think of James Kennedy, because you loved him when he was ripping people to shreds all season long, calling people this, calling people that. You thought he was so funny.
Well, he was funny because he was calling out the people who weren't being called out, though.
I think it's that you don't know the people. You don't know the people they're calling out. You need to get them better to understand the humor.
Well, that's why I'm
and not
giving
look
them
at
a
it as
chance. I'm
bullying.
giving them a chance, but they brought too much luggage. They didn't like the food. Who does Pringles? The whole bit. I'm rich now. I don't do anything like that. You know, I'm going to tell you, one of my favorite pictures, you can go Google it somewhere, is when Ivanka Trump went to Wharton.
Okay.
And Donald and Ivana were already divorced, but they were at like Walmart buying her sheets.
Okay.
And that was like a real moment. Now, maybe you wouldn't have that today because everybody's gone crazy, but I can remember the picture way back in the day without them even knowing anybody was watching them or anything. They just went in and they got what she needed, you know, at Walmart or whatever, and brought it to school. Now, times have changed because that was like, honestly, 30 years ago. I'm going to find that picture. But you wouldn't see that today. Maybe not in most people.
I mean, the other thing we have to remember is like, Sai brought Charmin toilet paper. It's not like she brought Cristal toilet paper. I buy Charmin every day.
Yeah, I know, which is weird.
I don't think that it's uncommon. I think that like, I think it's more, bring your own toilet paper and keep it in your purse. Like, get a little thing of tissue. She didn't need to bring a
case. How much is she going to go in 3 days that she needed that much? Couldn't she just brought a few rolls in a bag?
Are her flaxies and her laxatives in her bags too?
Well, some people do Epsom salt every day, you know.
Whatever. All right. Well, we'll give it another week.
We're giving it more time.
I kind of like them. You don't. Let's see where we got to. But anyway, like us.
I might love them and you might hate them by the end. Who knows?
Well, at the end of the day, it's still Aunt and Andrew, and it's still family's everything until it's not. So we'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.